Good evening, friends. First of all, I hope that every one of you and your near and dear ones are fine and healthy. Friends, this COVID second wave, many investors are grappling with what is going to be the impact of this wave on Indian economy and Indian equity market. So in this presentation, we'll briefly talk about the world experience. How do we see the impact on India? Why we think one should take this as an opportunity, correction if any. And last, what is our strategy? Friends, India is not the first country which got hit by COVID. If you look at Western countries, particularly countries like, for example, US market, there also during October to December, there was significant increase in number of daily cases from 86,000 to 310,000. But if you look at yellow line, that is Dow Jones Index, it continued to maintain its upward trajectory. If you look at Germany experience, it is almost similar to what happened to US. Here again, daily number of cases increased from 13,000 to 49,000, but German equity market, the yellow line, kept moving up. The obvious question is, what is the reason for this? And apart from central bankers' support and liquidity and stimulus, one very important thing is the manufacturing indices, and that's called PMI manufacturing. And if you look at this dark blue line here, during October to December, the US PMI manufacturing indices, they remain very, very strong. And similarly in Eurozone, while the services were impacted, the manufacturing indices, the dark blue line, it maintained very, very strong momentum. Back home in India, the COVID wave 1 hit us actually very hard. There was almost like 4 months lockdown. Many economists were worried about the impact of COVID wave 1. But surprisingly, India witnessed V-shaped recovery. Most corporates were surprised by the kind of recovery demand across the sectors. And if you look at March 21 numbers and you compare it over March 2019, because 2019 was a normal year, in March 20 was a low base because economy, we had a 7 days lockdown. So we have compared March 21 over March 2019. And as you can see on this slide, whether it is cement production, bitumen consumption, rail freight traffic, non-oil imports, most indicators, they are actually back to where it was in a normal year, March 2019. If you look at the GST collection, one of the very important parameter to gauge the underlying health of Indian economy, in April 21, India has witnessed GST collection of 1,40,000 crores. It's the highest in the history. Just like Germany and US, if you look at PMI indices manufacturing, then that indices also remain reasonably strong, despite India was impacted due to various factors. And hence we believe that while COVID wave 2 will lead to earnings downgrade for first quarter and maybe to some extent for month of June as well, the underlying health of Indian economy is very, very strong. And therefore, we do not expect a significant damage to Indian economy. It is going to be a postponement of demand rather than cancellation of demand. And therefore, we welcome this correction. We believe that government policy is supporting growth. Even recent today, RBI's announcements are also supportive from the growth perspective. The global liquidity remains very strong. And of course, the earnings growth, which was flattish. If you look at FY08 to FY20, the Nifty earnings growth was only 5% and market delivered only 5% returns to the investors. But over next 2, 3, 4 years, as Indian economy witnesses recovery, we expect earnings growth to be also good double-digit number. And therefore, we hope that even market will deliver similar double-digit returns. In terms of valuations, if you look at on PE basis, price to earning basis, we are almost equivalent to last 10 years average, which is reasonable in our view, considering that India is passing through a transformation phase and earnings growth opportunity can be much bigger. In terms of our portfolio strategy, AAA IOP PMS plan, during February 20, when COVID wave 1 was just entering India, it was an unknown factor. We became a little bit cautious. We raised 18-20% cash. We reduced our cyclical exposure from 77% to 66%. We increased our pharmaceutical exposure from 6% to 12%. We reduced our banking exposure from 26% to 18%. I'm talking about March 2020. And after that, correction came, and we took that as an opportunity. As I mentioned, we are always agile when it comes to sectoral allocation. In September, October, as economy started becoming reversal of lockdowns and economic recovery continued, we shifted again our allocation across different sectors. Most of our pharmaceutical companies registered very strong gains from our purchase price. So we reduced pharmaceuticals from 12-13% to less than 6%. And we increased our exposure in banking from 18% to 24%. Presently, in terms of the sectoral allocation, we hold 24% in banking. And within banking, we believe it is a winner takes it all strategy. So we are holding all the top leaders within the sector. We expect that Indian economic recovery is going to be stronger after 1 or 2 quarters. And banking is the right way, as it is a proxy of Indian economy. Consumer sector, we hold about 18% of the portfolio. Within consumer, we are holding many consumer discretionaries, and we are holding very little real non-discretionary. So because we believe that, again, recovery will help this discretionary play, and they will report a stronger growth. Capital goods, that the engineering is one sector where we have increased our weightage to almost 11%. During last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, India has not seen much capital expenditure. We expect India to witness improvement in capex cycle driven by PLI scheme and many other such factors. And therefore, we have increased weightage in engineering sector. Specialty chemical, we are holding 8-9% of the portfolio. This is a sector which we have been bullish from last 3 to 4 years. And we believe that sector will continue to benefit from China Plus One, and as well as strong capabilities of Indian specialty chemical companies. Software, we hold about roughly 9%, and pharmaceuticals is roughly about 6% of the exposure. The other exposure is cement, automobile, and telecom, about 3 to 4% exposure in each of them. In terms of earnings growth, AAA IOP PMS has registered very strong earnings growth for FY20 as well as for second quarter and third quarter of the current year. And we expect our portfolio to continue to deliver very strong earnings growth over next 2-3 years compared to the benchmark indices. So that's it from our side. We believe that volatility will remain high, and this volatility may create opportunity. One should not get worried too much about the short term. But if you have a 3 to 5 years view, then we are fairly positive on Indian equity market. And we advise investors to take such correction as an opportunity to add weightage to equity as an asset class. Thank you. Thank you very much.